The flowers smelled especially sweet, and a gentle breeze was blowing. Ariadne took a deep breath and sighed. It's nice, she said softly.
You must come out here often, said the prince.
Oh, no, I don't have time, admitted Ariadne. I'm too busy cooking.
Oh, don't you do anything but cook? Asked the prince. Oh, don't you go to the tournaments and the balls and ride horses and visit your friends?
Oh, no, said Ariadne. I don't have time for those things.
Well, you must like to cook, said the prince.
Oh, I do, agreed Ariadne. It's fun to put all kinds of food together and make things come out that smell so good and taste so good.
But wouldn't you ever like to do something else or a change? Asked the prince. Don't you ever want to go somewhere or see people or just sit in this garden?
Well, said Ariadne slowly, as if it was hard for her to admit such a thing. I have wondered what it was like to do those things, but since I don't have time, I try not to think about them.
Oh, well, must you do all the cooking? Went on the prince. Oh, there are a lot of people in this castle to feed, and I'm sure there are cooks who would like to work here.
Oh, there are, said Ariadne, but I like my cooking better.
Even if it means you spend all your time in the kitchen? You should cook just once in a while. Then you could learn other things, too.
No one except her father, the king, had ever told Ariadne that she should do anything. That was not the sort of thing one said to a princess. Ariadne wanted to scold the prince for being so disrespectful.
But he didn't give her a chance. Well, I used to do only one thing, too, he said. I used to ride horses all the time. I rode from first thing in the morning till last thing at night. When one horse got tired, I rode another. They couldn't even get me home for meals. Then I was ordered not to ride more than 2 hours a day and to learn to do other things, too.
But you're a prince, protested Ariadne. Nobody can order you to do anything.
My father is a king, said the prince, laughing. He can.
Oh, said Ariadne. She understood that very well.
So, went on the prince, I started doing different things every day. Well, I read, and I planted a garden, and I helped dig the moat. Then we had a banquet at our castle, and the dessert was so good, I asked the cook to teach me to make it.
Did he? Asked Ariadne.
Well, he didn't want to at first. He said, princes aren't supposed to cook. Well, I asked him why not, and he didn't know, so he had to teach me.
Do you cook a lot? Asked Ariadne.
Once in a while, but I don't try to cook everything for everyone in the castle. Well, sometimes I take over the kitchen and let the cook have a day off. But I'd never spend all my time cooking, or all my time riding horses any more, either.
But do you have as much fun doing all those other things as you did riding horses all day?
Oh, more fun, said the prince, and you will, too. A friend of mine is giving a ball tonight. Will you come with me? And because this was not an ordinary prince,
and because Ariadne was so surprised she didn't know what else to say, she said yes. Then Ariadne
and the prince
went to check on the persimmon date cake, which had baked long enough.
It looked delicious,
and smelled delicious,
and tasted delicious.
While Ariadne dressed for the ball,
the prince visited with her father, the king. The prince said he thought Ariadne wasn't going to do all the cooking for the castle any more, and respectfully suggested that the king employ the next cook who asked for a job at the castle. The king said, well, thank goodness she's getting interested in other things, and told the footman that he would have an audience in the throne room with the next cook who knocked at the castle gates.
Ariadne
And the prince
went to the ball and danced all night, and Ariadne thought she had never had so much fun.
The next day they read manuscripts in her father's library,
And walked in the garden,
and raced their horses across the meadows,
and stopped for lemonade in the village,
and talked to many people.
and Ariadne thought she had never had so much fun.
2 weeks later, the prince asked the king for Ariadne's hand in marriage.
And Ariadne knew that she had never been so happy. Every king and queen, prince and princess, knight and lady, and all the people for miles around were invited to the wedding. There was music for singing and music for dancing. There were presents for Ariadne
And the prince.
and presents for children under 10 and grandparents over 70.
After the wedding, there was a ball and a banquet. And at the end of the banquet, there was a fanfare of trumpets. And the butler appeared, carrying a flaming torch, and behind him came 12 footmen, bearing a wedding cake 3 meters high, which was like no other wedding cake ever seen. 1 layer was angel food,
And 1 chocolate,
and 1 strawberry,
and 1 caramel,
and 1 orange.
and 1 spice.
Oh, at the top was a huge white lily, made all of sugar,
Ariadne had baked the angel food layer,
and each layer was made by one of the cooks who had come knocking at the castle gates.
The white lily was made by the new cook whom the king had just hired.
The cake was cut into exactly 1,233 pieces, enough for every guest.
Then Ariadne
And the prince,
said goodbye to her father the king and to all their friends.
and rode off to the prince's faraway country.
there they lived happily ever after in a castle on top of a high mountain.